Hey guys, welcome to Learning 8. In this video, we are going to discuss a Java program to convert a Roman number to integer. Means, if input is given in the form of string with LXIV, then the expected output is 64. The given input is in Roman format and the output is in integer format. Similarly, if the input is like triple M, D, triple C, L, triple X, V, triple I, then the output is 3888. Yeah. Pause the video to write your own logic. Let us continue. And here the important thing is there are three constraints for this program. Constraints are nothing but some conditions. So we are writing a logic based on these conditions. The first condition is the given string length should be minimum of 1 and a maximum of 15. If you just observe this, the second string input, it is of 15. So more than this, we can't write a valid Roman number. That's why the constraint is nothing but up to 15. And then followed by the string should consist of the alphabets or the characters I, V, X, L, C, D, M. So only these are the Roman numbers that we have. And the third constraint is the S as a string input. It should be a guaranteed Roman number that is ranging from 1 to 3999. Yeah, if the invalid input is given, then our logic is not going to work. It means it should be a guaranteed Roman number. So based on these constraints, now let us understand how do we write the logic for this one. So first, can you please tell me, if we take a Roman numeral like a V triple I, what we supposed to do? So first we have to consider the value 5 for V, and then triple i's means +1 +1 +1, correct? Therefore the output should be 8. So I'm taking this example to make you understand that I value is 1, which we are aware of, and v's value is 5, which we are aware of. If the next character is smaller than the current one, if the next character, that is I, is smaller than the current one, it means first we have to consider 5 and then we have to add it. So 5 after 1 is smaller, therefore we have to add. Then after 1, what is the next one? Is also again 1, and he is also again 1 only. So it means if it is less than and if it is equal as well. So 5 after 1 is less than 5. So we are supposed to add. And 1 after 1, it is equal. It's not less than, it's equal. Therefore, still we have to add it. In a simplest way, if you take IV, what's the meaning of this one? The next character Roman number is bigger than the first one. So in that scenario, what we supposed to do? We have to subtract it. Yeah, so that's the only point I'm trying to convey. If it is less than or equal in this situation, then we're supposed to add it. And if it is greater than, we're supposed to subtract. So based on this, we are going to build the logic. Yeah. So first here, how many Roman symbols that are available? So we have the 6 Roman symbols that are represented here: I, V, X, L, C, D, M, 7. So what is the value of I? So the value of I is 1. And for the value of V, it's 5. And the X, 10. And next L is 50. And C is 100. And then next D is 500. And the last M is 1000. Am I correct? Yeah. So for these things, we have to store these Roman numbers, that is the alphabets, into some array, and we have to assign this value. So how do we store them into array? So we can take any array. So first let me declare a character array, and whose name I'm giving as ch, and equals to new char of, what is the size? So which alphabets that we are going to consider here? the capital letters. And end user may enter in lower case letters also. Then we should support that as well. That's why I'm taking the highest value of the alphabets unique air value, which is nothing but 122. That's for small z. Yeah. Then what is array name? CH. So can we store CH of I, a corresponding index number that we are assigning to the value with the value of 1, and then CH of V, and we are assigning with the value of 5. Like this, all these are CH of the corresponding characters, and we supposed to store them with a corresponding integer value format. So for this also CH, and even next as well, and even next as well. And one more important thing, so we have to use them in single quotes. I should be, V should be, X should be, all these 7 alphabets should be in single quotes. So this is the first point. I'm approaching in a different way, which is so easy and so convenient for you. So after storing them into one array, then what we supposed to do? We supposed to add the results, right? For this, we need one variable which should be initialized to 0, correct? That's why here I am taking one int type of variable name called result, and I'm initializing that value to 0. So after initializing and after assigning the values of these Roman numbers with corresponding integer values, then what we supposed to do? So we have to get one input, correct? The input. So for taking the input, I am writing this entire thing in a method format. So access modifier, return type is what? Roman number to integer. That's why integer is a return type. That's why int is a return type here. The next method name I am taking in a camel casing standard, Roman to int is the method name. What this method takes? Any Roman number format input which should be of string type. That's why this method is taking one parameter called string with any variable name called yes. So this is the starting of the method, and inside this method, this is the code as of now which we have written. And here one more point, end user may enter, for example, V triple I can be entered in this way also, correct? In lowercase letters, I mean. It can be in lowercase input or it can be uppercase input. But which type of values we are storing here? Only uppercase, right? Therefore, on strings, we can apply a method called to uppercase method with camel casing standards. And here, this method will convert any string input is given in the form of lowercase or uppercase. Final result will be converted into uppercase letters and stored back to variable s. Yeah. Then to continue. So for the given string input, so we have to count the value. So we have to check from starting to the ending, right? So for example, if you take V triple I, we have to start from this index position 0 and we have to take till the last position. So that is a regular approach. So but interestingly here, the same for loop which we will be using, it's a continuation after this one, please. So for loop to starts with 0, and where the loop has to end, it should be less than and equals to also equals to, for time being let me write, but I'll tell you whether it is correct or incorrect. Then where the loop has to run till the last index number, that's s dot length is a method on strings -1, then I plus plus. Let me erase this part. Yeah, followed by. So what is the purpose of this loop? Inside this loop body, we have to check one condition. What's the condition? If, so here the ch array of the character of a string. So ch of I, ch of v, like this we have, right? This iv is nothing but again it's a character of the string. How to get it? S dot char at I, then closing of this ch array. So it means ch of I or v or x or l c d m. We are checking here. Then what's our condition? When we supposed to add? If the current characters value is either greater than or equals to the next character. How to get the next character? Again, the array of the corresponding character s dot char at. So this time, is it I again or I plus 1? Yeah. So it's I plus 1. So this is the condition. If this is the condition and if it is true, what we supposed to do? To the existing result, we have to add. What we have to add? The corresponding characters string character. Caret I only here. Correct? Then this result has to be stored back to result variable. Then that's the purpose of if. It's only one line of code. We can use curly braces to open and close it, or without this also we can write as a one line of code. It should be a non-initialization. Then else part is what? Else. For example, if it is IV, what are we supposed to do? First one, then we have to subtract it. Correct now? That's why here result equals to result minus the same thing. Character array of the string character by using caret I method. Caret method with index position I. That's it. And at the end, the most important point, at the end, so what's return type here? Return type of this method is nothing but int. Then what's mandatory? Return statement is mandatory from this method. So once this is done, if and else part both are done, then this is opening of for and the ending of the for loop. Then as a last line of method, I am using a return statement. So here are two important things. Now here we are using what? I and I plus 1. Once the index position of this string reaches to the last, do we have any I plus 1? No. Therefore, we will get the string index out of bounds exception. So how to avoid that? We should not use this equal to symbol. I hope you understood. Then at the last, what about this last character when we are not using this condition here? Then we have to add that also mandatory to the result. So result return result plus the character which is present at which index number? Last index number. How to get last index number? S dot char at. So here is one more important point. Caret of I. But what which I? Is it every I or only the last one? The last one, right? How to get it? Again, s dot length method minus 1. Then this is the closing of caret and this is the closing of the ch. So this is one more important point. And this is one more important point. Yeah. Then finally, opening of this method here. Then after this return statement, closing of this method. So this is the logic to get the Roman to integer. For the execution, first I have taken one class name with my int, and inside this class, it's the same method, public int Roman to int, and which is taking the string input. And the first line of code, I have converted this to uppercase. Then we have considered one variable result and whose value is initialized to 0. The next I have taken one character array and I have stored these values. So after storing these values, so as we discussed, what's next line of code? It's a for loop, right? So for, and the loop has to run from index position 0 and then till where I should be less than or less than or equals to only less than the last index, that is length minus 1, then followed by I plus plus. So what's the purpose of this loop? Inside this loop, first we have to check one condition. So if what's the condition? The array's character s dot char at index position I, and it should be greater than equals to, right? Not only greater than, it should be greater than equals to. And again, the corresponding character is string character s dot char, this time I plus 1. So this is only one line of code for this one. We can write this one as result equals to result plus plus ch of s dot caret I. Yeah. So s dot caret I. So this is the purpose of the if. Since it's a one line of code for if statement, we no need to use the curly braces. Then else part, the same previous line I'll take here, and instead of plus, what we supposed to do? We have to minus it. Only symbol to be changed as here, instead of plus, it's supposed to be minus. Then this is the purpose of the loop. So after this loop, so since our return type is int, then it's mandatory to write the return statement. How to return? Yeah, I hope you remember the important point. So return res to the result. What we supposed to add? Yes, no, ch of yes dot caret I is which one? Last one, right? How to get it? Again, yes dot length property, sorry, length method -1, then end with semicolon. So till we complete this return statement, we used to get error in line number 18. Now everything is done. Now in myInt class, we have a method called Roman to int, which takes string input and which returns integer. Now to execute this code, I have taken one more class called Roman with the main method, and I'm using scanner class and with one print statement to enter Roman number, and I'm using next method to read string from the keyboard, and I'm assigning back to yes variable. So this yes variable is present in class Roman, and this yes variable is present in myInt, so it doesn't make any problem. So to execute this Roman to int method, what we supposed to do? Create the object for this myInt class. So I'm creating here. So myInt, then some object variable, some mi equals to new, again the class name myInt. So this is the object creation. Then how to call the method? By using object variable dot method signature, right? So here I'm using a sample print statement to get the integer value. Then here I'm appending with object variable mi dot method name Roman to int and one string input. What's the variable that we are using to read from the keyboard? Yes variable. So I passed it. So save this code and then execute and give the input L X V I. What's the output here? So all are in the proper order. So we should get the 66. The LXVI is 66. Let me re-execute. And this time I'll give LXIV. So what's output? L is 50, 10 is X is 10, 60, then IV is 4. So 64 should be the output. It's working fine. Then the last time I'll take a bigger input of triple M, 1D, triple C, and 1L, triple X, and 1V, triple I. So this is the 15 characters Roman input, which is valid. Therefore, we should get the output of 3888. So this is the program to convert Roman to integer. I hope you enjoyed it. And for me to make more videos, please use the comment section to post your questions. Thank you and see you in the next video.